Hi, my name is Bailey Churchill and I'm a Master of Social Work student at Renison University College, University of Waterloo. Today, I'm excited to share my capstone project with you, which is a book inspired by my love of scrapbooking, stationery, and my interest in organizing my life. I'll add that the latter aspiration is a work in progress, as I have found that in completing this book, I have been reminded constantly that life is a balancing act and that it's in need of organization and reorganization. It's something that's unending, and I learn to adjust as situations arise in my life. Now, before I delve deeper into my project, I should explain to you what a capstone is. As the University of Waterloo has described it, the capstone seeks to offer a synthesizing and culminating experience for students, focusing on the development of the professional self. It is unique in that it intends to use the student-directed approach, demonstrating the evolution of competence in a master's level practitioner over the course of the social work training and throughout the student's career. I found that this template has really added or enriched my experience throughout my master's level education. I think that in my graduate studies, this has probably been one of the most painful assignments to do, because starting off, I thought that it would be brilliant to do this book. I thought that it would be a perfect way for me to take the time to do something that I love, particularly because I was going to be completing my studies online and managing a full-time job in child welfare. So I thought that using this creative outlet would be a good way to take care of myself. So I found that this has been a good way to reflect on my MSW journey. In this, I will link concepts of social work competencies and discuss how my experience as an MSW student at Renison has led to professional and personal growth. I have a great appreciation for Erik Erikson's psychosocial theory, and I believe that it has served as a guiding framework for my assignment. As you can see, I have started off the first page covering the 9 competencies in social work. So those competencies are: identify as a professional social worker and adopt a valued perspective of the social work profession. Competency 2 is to adhere to social work values and ethics in professional practice. Competency 3 is to promote human rights and social justice. Competency 4 is support and enhance diversity by addressing structural sources of inequity. Competency 5 is to employ critical thinking in professional practice. Competency 6 is to engage in research. Competency 7 is participate in policy analysis and development. Competency 8 is to engage in organizational and societal systems change through professional practice. And competency 9 is to engage with individuals, families, groups, and communities through professional practice. Throughout this book, I was sure to add the competencies as well as to weave in concepts throughout these competencies in my reflections. So some of these pages were full of paintings. I found myself doing this a few times over the last few years as a way to unwind and to take my focus off of things that were stressing me out. So this was a very useful tool for me in engaging in self-care practice. I also filled the pages with assignments as they related to things like self-care. So while I was completing my practicum in winter 2018, I was tasked with writing about the 9 competencies, as well as addressing certain points like self-care, ethics, diversity in the workplace. I was fortunate enough to work or do my placement in an environment which allowed me to take part in committee meetings and also engage in larger discussions in the agency with regard to policy development and analysis. Now, I have a great appreciation for Erik Erikson's psychosocial theory, and I feel that it served as a guiding framework for my assignment. He's one of the big people or proponents of art therapy and expressive practice in therapy. Erikson regarded human behavior in 8 chronological stages, which have specific tasks which need to be fulfilled throughout a person's lifetime. So I feel that his field of thought has infused a lot of the concepts that I've used in social work. Now, using art media is widely accepted and as a way to help children express feelings and thoughts, to explore their feelings around relationships with people, as well as to conceptualize problems and consider solutions. While I completed my MSW practicum at Capstone Mental Health, I was supervised by a therapist who specialized in solution-focused brief therapy. Through my learning at Capstone, I was able to deliver therapy using a number of treatment modalities, incorporating the use of drawing and coloring. Through this experience, I was able to see just how solution-focused therapy could be integrated with expressive art therapies. Just as solution-focused therapy helps clients formulate solutions to their problems rather than focusing on the problems themselves or regarding themselves as the problem, I have used this journal as a way of looking at and understanding social work values and competencies, as well as using these competencies to promote professional development. So one of the competencies is to promote human rights and social justice, and I have written a piece here about that. Looking at Indigenous rights is one of the big ones that I focused on here, while also weaving in some of my personal experiences at Children's Aid Society, and also being able to use anti-oppressive practice in service delivery. The exploration of the theoretical connection between art and social work, while also contributing to the research and knowledge mobilization, is an example of Competency 6, engaging in research. The self-care journal has been a cathartic tool as I have faced challenges associated with balancing work and school. At times, I felt defeated and felt as though I didn't have it in me to get things done well. However, I would bring myself back to why I was doing all this work. This work has been an investment in myself, ensuring that I didn't lose sight of the 9 social work competencies. I use this journal to weave in self-care as a form of ethical practice. So, going through here, one of the tools that I used was borrowed from Indigenous culture, certainly First Nations. They use the medicine wheel, and I use this to help understand myself as a more complex being, and looking at the different facets of myself, so the mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual. So I divided this up looking at different ways that I can keep myself balanced. And for physical, I wrote down schedule regular appointments with my doctor, dentist, etc. Take vitamin B12 regularly, exercise regularly, and to eat healthy foods. Emotional includes journaling my thoughts and setting healthy boundaries with people, as well as at work. Spiritual is this was more of a goal, but to get more involved in a spiritual group, so that being church or a community building initiative. And for mental, one of the big things was to get a full night's sleep, so 7 to 8 hours. That's something that I currently work on, and I think that this gives me perspective as well as serves as a roadmap for me to continue on the journey of self-development, both in my professional and personal life. One of the greatest shifts in myself over the last 2 years has been my conceptualization of professional development. Previously, I saw professional development as strictly an active participation in training and specialized skill development. However, as I've been challenged with viewing health and wellness as a holistic concept, I have seen how professional development is a phenomenon which occurs from experiences and daily choices. Renaissance MSW program focuses specifically on health, approaching it from a holistic lens. So naturally, I have adopted this way of thinking as I approach my self-care practice. So I thank you very much for watching my video and allowing me to guide you through my journey of completing this book, as well as developing a greater self-awareness regarding self-care and professional development. Thank you.